A very good morning, students. Today I am going to start a new lesson from the book It So Happened. The name of the lesson is The Comet 1. So, this is a story which is split into two parts, the Comet 1 and the Comet 2. In this video, I am going to start with the lesson The Comet 1. So, let's begin. A new comet has appeared in the sky and is heading straight for the Earth. A head on collision, which is nearly unavoidable, will mean the end of life on this planet. Scientists and religious leaders react to this situation in two different ways. What happens to the comet? So, first of all, students, you must understand what the comet is. The comet is a heavenly body and it has a tail and it revolves around the sun. You can see the comet in the picture. So, a new comet has appeared in the sky, and religious leaders and scientists, they have their own opinions about this significant incident. What happens to the comet? This is what we are going to study in this lesson. Dattada, an amateur scientist, can't stay away from the keen-eyed Dibya Chakshu for long. Dibya helps him achieve his secret ambition. Dattada's wife, Indrani Devi, wishes he hadn't found the object of his search. So, the central character is Dattada. He is a scientist and he can't stay away from Dibya Chakshu. His wife, Indrani Devi, wishes that he hadn't found the object of his search. It was a moonless night in December. A burst of cool breeze from the window was enough to disturb the sleep of Indrani Devi. Half awake, she felt for the adjoining pillow, although she knew the answer. Dattada was not there. So, the wife of Dattada was sleeping and suddenly she felt a burst of cool breeze, and half awake, she felt that Dattada was not there and there was just the pillow which was lying on the bed. So he has gone to hobnob with that rat Dibya. Hobnob means to have friendly talk, okay, or to spend time together. So Indrani Devi said, okay, he has gone to talk friendly with that wicked Dibya. At least he might have bothered to close the door. So Dattada had left without closing the door, and Indrani Devi was upset to know this. As she muttered her complaints, Indrani Devi could not repress her smile. She knew how utterly oblivious her husband was of the practical problems of living. Oblivious means forgetful. So he used to forget the practical problems of living. Didn't his doctor tell him to take special precautions against the cold? But he wouldn't remember to put on a sweater even if it was lying on his bedside chair. How could he when Dibya had put her spell on him? So Indrani Devi knew that his husband was crazy for Dibya, and that's why he has forgotten to take his sweater with him, although it was cold outside. So she was very sad and she was wondering how Dibya had put her spell on him, means how Dibya had such a control over him. She picked up the white woolen pullover, wrapped herself in a shawl, and made her way to the roof to break up his tete-a-tete with Dibya. Tete-a-tete is a French phrase which means private conversation between two people or private meeting. She found them both huddled together eye to eye. Huddled means to come closer. So Dattada and Dibya, they both huddled together eye to eye. Now, from the very first line, the narrator has given us impression that Dibya is a girl. But students, this is the funny element here. Dibya is not a girl or a lady. Rather, It is his telescope, and he had named it Dibya. At least Dattada was looking into Dibya's eyes. When Dattada acquired this telescope, he was so thrilled that he called it Dibya Chakshu. So it was a telescope and he had named it Dibya Chakshu, means divine eye. To Indrani Devi, the telescope was like a designing woman who had ensnared her husband. Ensnared means to caught in a trap. So, so she just called it Dibya and the name stuck. To Dattada, the telescope marked the fulfillment of the ambition of a lifetime. As an amateur astronomer, he had longed for enough money to buy a good telescope and for enough spare time in which to observe the heavens. So he was very passionate about his work. He wanted to know more and more about the universe. He got them both when he retired with ample money. Ample means sufficient. The telescope was duly installed, and long were the dark nights that Dattada spent in star gazing. He used to gaze the stars. At least Indrani Devi thought so. Here, put on this sweater. Or do you want Nabin Babu to order bed rest tomorrow? Like every other amateur astronomer, students, the meaning of amateur is a person who does something for his passion or for joy, for his inner peace or happiness, not for money. So it means astronomy was a source of happiness for Dattada. It was not a source of money for him. It was not his job. So, like every other amateur astronomer, Dattada had a secret ambition that he would one day discover a new comet. For comets can be new, coming as they do from the remote corners of the solar system. Like planets, comets also orbit around the sun, this I have told you, but their orbits are highly eccentric. Eccentric means strange. So in the picture you can see that there is a sun in the center, the earth is rotating on its orbit, and the comet has a strange kind of orbit. So once in a while a comet comes close to the sun. It has a longish tail that is lit brilliantly by the sunlight, and then it recedes into darkness, not to be seen again for years or for centuries. So as it comes closer to the sun, its tail lit up by the sunlight, and then it recedes, means it moves into darkness, or you can say it fades, and then it is not to be seen for years. What chance did he stand with his 8-inch Dibya? Didn't professional astronomers have gigantic telescopes? So, like the agencies, the space agencies like NASA, ISRO, are working day in and day out to spot or to find a comet. So his 8-inch Dibya had very less possibility of finding or of spotting a comet. Dattada was optimistic. He knew that the professionals with their pre-assigned programs would be looking at faint stars and nebulous galaxies. Nebulous means not clear. So Dattada was very positive, he was very optimistic, and he was just doing his work with sincerity, with honesty. He used to gaze stars with the hope that one day he would definitely spot a comet. They might miss such an insignificant thing as a comet, which they were not expecting to see anyway. Indeed, amateurs had often discovered new comets which the professionals had missed. So he was confident that he had the possibility of discovering a new comet, and he thought that maybe the professional astronomers would miss the opportunity. They would not recognize a comet, and they would think that it is an insignificant event or thing. So students, this was the first part of the explanation of the lesson, the Comet 1. In the next video, I will explain the lesson further. If you have any doubt in this part, you can ask. Thank you.